Hey everyone, I'm glad you enjoyed the previous lesson on how to turn scales into music by using pentatonic scales as your soloing framework. Today, I'm going to be discussing another concept that will help you write and improvise solos that tell a story. This concept is called a motif, and basically a motif is a musical phrase that you can repeat throughout your solos, like this. So as you just heard, there were two parts to that solo, but they both started with the same phrase, the motif, which went like this. Now, when I say you can repeat a motif several times in a solo, I don't mean literally just taking the same musical phrase and playing it in the exact same way every single time. After you first play the motif, you can develop it in a number of different ways, and I like to divide these up into three different approaches: rhythm-based, melody-based, and technique-based. The rhythm-based approach, as you might have guessed, implies the application of a rhythmic development to the motif. Here's an example of a rhythmic development applied to the motif that we just heard. So what happened there? Before this note B, this one here, I added in an eighth note rest. So the first time I played it, just normally it went like this. The second time it went like this. Rest. That's it. It's a really simple alteration that I just made to that motif, but it's effective. Even if those were just the first 3 or 4 bars of your solo, to the listener, that sounds like you're planning on going somewhere with it and that you're not just randomly noodling. The melody-based approach concerns the actual notes that you're playing, and there are a number of different ways that you could look at the melodic approach. A simple example of this would be to take the motif that we've already developed rhythmically and change one of the notes. Another way of developing a motif melodically could be to play it in a different octave, or even just in a different position of the neck. Because the shape of the scale in different areas of the neck can provide you with other possibilities for developing the lick in ways that you might not if you play it in a different position, if that makes sense. For example, if I play the motif up here, I have the option of adding in a double stop bend up here. Whereas down here, if I play it here, as you can hear, in both positions, I'm playing in the same octave, so I have access to the same notes for the motif in the same pitch down here. But if I wanted to add in that double stop bend, it's not as accessible to me as it is up here when I play in this position. Sure, I could do it if I wanted to, but because it's not as accessible, because it's not an obvious choice in this area of the neck, I might not even think to do that. Being able to confidently replicate licks in other areas of the neck comes from first being able to visualize the scale that you're playing in any position of the neck and in any key. If you're interested in learning how to do that, then check the link in the description. I have 50% off coupons for my online course, Bulletproof Guitar Player. The technique-based approach is where you take a lick that makes use of a particular technique or combination of techniques, and you repeat that in other octaves or even on other notes of the scale. For example, if we take the motif and end it like this, the use of the slide at this point here is the technique we're going to repeat. So listen to this. So I'm taking that melody and rhythm that makes use of the slide and repeating it on the B string, And then I repeat that an octave lower. So I take this and repeat it on the G and D strings. Okay, so now let's listen to a solo that demonstrates everything I've been talking about. And this is kind of going to be like on TV cooking shows where they say, here's one that I made earlier. Here's a solo that I recorded earlier that demonstrates all of this. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. If you haven't seen the previous video on how to turn scales into music by using pentatonic scales as your soloing framework, then I'll put a link to that at the end of this video so you can go and watch that if you are interested in it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up below and click subscribe for more.